Well, it's now been 11 days since the Lehigh Valley Phantoms last played a game, going back to the team's shootout loss at Binghamton on Monday, April the 5th. It's also been just over a year since Scott Howson was named president and CEO of the American Hockey League back on February the 14th of 2020. His term taking effect 5 months later, and as we know, a lot changed from February to July, including the professional sports landscape and necessary measures to ensure the safety of all involved. Kristi Fulkerson recently caught up with the former Columbus Blue Jackets GM turned AHL commish about his first season at the helm and expectations going forward.
Well, thanks, Dan. There really was no way to predict how things would change, as you mentioned, from early February even to late March, and now a year later in April of 2021. But first-year president Scott Howson credits his predecessors, staff, and all participating teams and players in making this season possible in any sense. It has been quite an undertaking, full of many challenges, but all things considered, a success so far.
We're pleased to be playing. And to be halfway through the year is an accomplishment. It's a credit to our players, our teams, and everybody involved with the AHL. I can tell you that almost daily, it's quiet right now, but almost daily we're getting phone calls about COVID cases or potential COVID cases and giving teams direction on how we want them to handle that. And most of the teams are doing very well. I've been really pleased with the quality of play. The players are competing hard. In a very tough, situational circumstance here with COVID and not sure about playoffs and all those things. And the games are, you wouldn't know the difference. I wouldn't know the difference. They're playing hard. They're just as excited when they score goals, when they win hockey games. So that's great to see.
Going back to opening weekend, what was that like for you, for your staff, everyone that had to come together to make the season happen, just to get over that first hump and play the first round of games?
Well, it was great to see, I can tell you that, because we really decided we were going to start on February 5th. We got final Board of Governors approval in early January. So we had a month. I mean, obviously we had a lot of preparation done, but it was a really hectic month. The lead up, all the things you have to do to get a season going, all the little things, all the mechanical things, all the administrative things. And so we put a lot of strain on our staff here at the office. We got it done. So I remember, I think it was a Thursday or a Friday. It was a 1 o'clock game. I think it was a Friday, a 1 o'clock game in Providence. And it was just great to see that we were up and running and we were going to have a season.
Looking back 18 months ago, maybe this isn't how you expected your first season to go at the helm, but you've made your way around to some arenas. I know you were in Allentown not too long ago. What have you thought of how teams and venues are handling this whole situation and still creating a safe and exciting environment?
Yeah, it's been great. I go through all the protocols when I enter the rink, just as you probably do and everybody else does, and everybody's obeying the rules. I mean, you got to take your temperature, you got to fill out the form, you got to wear a mask, you have to be socially distanced. Everybody's doing that to a T, really. We've had some hiccups early on, maybe with the odd official who wasn't supposed to be in the arena yet or whatever, but we got through that, and really pleased with how the teams are handling this, because there was a lot of work put on the teams, and in particular, we have something called a COVID-19 officer for each team, and it's usually the athletic trainer. So not only is that person doing their own day-to-day work, which is get to the rink early and leave late and handle all the injuries and sicknesses, but now they're doing all the protocols and making sure the team's complying, and those people have done a great job this year.
I know just having a regular season, albeit shortened, is a big accomplishment, but is there a discussion going on about a potential shortened playoff or anything like that for a postseason?
Yeah, we're working through that now with each of the divisions. It's really going to go division by division and what their preference is. And we're working through that with the players as well. And I think hopefully we'll have an announcement on that in the next 2 or 3 weeks and have some clarity about what each division is doing and plans to do, and then we'll hopefully get through that and have a wrap to the season.
Do you get the sense that the majority of teams and players, at least that you've been in contact with, want some sort of postseason?
I think there's a certain number of teams that do want a postseason. I don't want to speak on behalf of the players. They've been through a lot this year. It's certainly our intention for the teams that want to play playoff games and have some type of playoff to crown a division championship. I get the sense there are certainly teams that want to do that.
I'm sure work is already going into next season, which you're hoping to be a full season in 21-22. How normal do you expect that to be at this point, and how are you planning for next year?
Yeah, we're proceeding as normally we would. We've talked to each of the teams about. They've all given us dates for home games next year, and now the schedule maker Melissa Caruso is talking to each team and really going through what their preferences are, and then she'll put together some type of, we start small. We give them some guaranteed dates that they're going to get for sure. Home openers, those are very important to teams. But we think it's going to be a fairly normal season in terms of the calendar. I think it's still too early to say what the crowd capacity is going to be. We're certainly hopeful that we're going to have, decent enough crowds that it's going to make sense. I know in Pennsylvania, you guys are starting to put people in the building, which is great to see. I was there, as you said, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was just great to be in a building with fans and people having fun and enjoying the game and enjoying the competition. So I think I'm certainly hopeful it's going to be a normal season. I can't tell you we're going to be at 100% capacity, but hopefully we'll be close.